She stood up at a crowded birthday party, looked me dead in the eyes, and announced, "Real men fight for their woman. But you? You just accept anything." Everyone stared, waiting for me to break. But instead, I smiled and said, "If you want to fight, go find one." They thought I was joking. They thought I was weak. They had no idea what was coming. Before we dive into this story, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment. What would you do if someone demanded drama instead of love? My name is Eric. Her name? Haley. We'd been married 7 years. We weren't rich. We didn't have a glamorous life. But we had a home, routines, laughter, inside jokes. I thought that meant something, Haley. She started craving fireworks. Not peace. Not partnership. Drama. The kind of chaos she saw in movies and gossip shows. It began small. Late replies to my messages, flirty comments under other guys' photos, and questions designed to hurt. Why aren't you jealous? Don't you care what I do? If another man wanted me, would you even notice? I tried communication. Calm, reasonable talks about trust and respect. She rolled her eyes at every effort. Haley got addicted to testing me. She loved when I got worried. She loved when I questioned myself. She loved knowing she had control, that I was the one afraid to lose her. That if I didn't react. She escalated. A friend calling her at midnight, posting pictures at bars with strangers, laughing way too loud when someone else complimented her. It wasn't loved, it was a power game. We went to a friend's birthday dinner. Warm lights, clinking glasses, the smell of garlic and steak filling the room. Everyone relaxed, except Haley, who came loaded with her favorite hobby, publicly poking me to see if I'd finally bleed. She said to the table, "Women need passion. Fire. A man who will fight for them. But Eric? He's like a quiet little cloud. No thunder. No lightning." People shifted awkwardly in their seats. A couple uncomfortable laughs. That I kept my eyes on my drink. Her smile grew. She thought silence meant she won again. Then she delivered the punch. Real men don't let their woman feel unwanted. Real men step up. They prove love. She put a hand dramatically on her chest. But I guess I picked someone who doesn't know how to be a real man. She wanted a scene. Tears. Rage. A jealous explosion she could brag about later. But I didn't give her that. I looked up, calm, steady, and said, "If someone needs to be fought for, it means they're already trying to leave." Her smile vanished. I pushed my chair back. "And if you want to run, Haley, the door is right there." The table froze. A fork clattered onto a plate. Someone gasped. She blinked rapidly. "Eric, what are you doing?" "Letting you go," I said. Quiet. Clear. "You want freedom? Drama? Constant proof I'm terrified of losing you." I stood and grabbed my jacket. "Then go find someone who is." No yelling. No shaking hands. No tears. I walked out. The first time in years I left her behind. That night, I packed my things while she was still out, likely performing her heartbreak to anyone who would listen. A note on the table said, "If love requires a battle, then you were never on my side." I moved in with my brother. No arguments. No chased. No more playing her game. She wanted a war. She got silence. And that silence was about to hit her harder than any jealousy ever could. The first night at my brother Mark's place felt like stepping into a different universe. No slamming doors. No interrogations. No emotional booby traps. Just a quiet living room, a worn-out couch, and someone genuinely glad I existed. Mark handed me a beer, sat beside me, and said, "You look like a man who finally let go of a burning rope." I didn't answer. I didn't need to. He knew. Meanwhile, Haley thought it was all a performance, a move in our game. She waited for the grand romantic gesture, flowers, begging, jealousy-fueled madness. That's what she believed love was, suffering loudly. But instead of her phone lighting up with attention and compliments, she got silence. Real silence. Days passed. Her first message came the next evening. "Where are you?" I didn't respond. Then, "I hope you're happy running away." I wasn't running. I was healing. By day 3. "So that's it? You just give up?" She still thought she had the upper hand. Still thought I feared losing her, but I was rediscovering myself, going to the gym again, meeting people after work, laughing like I hadn't laughed in months. Even the way I walked changed, shoulders back, eyes forward. I started sleeping better, eating better. People noticed. Women noticed. Smiles lasted longer. Conversations became easier. The world didn't feel like a cage anymore. Haley must have felt the shift through the silence. Her text changed tone. I'm worried. Can we talk? I didn't mean what I said at dinner. I still didn't respond. Then the fun part. Her social media phase. Pictures with strangers at bars. Captions like, living my best life. Forced laughter, trying to show she won. But the comments told the truth. Only guys hitting on her. Only women using her for selfies. N01 checked if she got home safe. N01 bought her medicine when she got sick. N01 cared beyond the moment. And that's when the cracks started that I ran into one of our mutual friends, Sarah, at a grocery store. She hesitated before saying, Haley looks different, like she's trying too hard. I simply nodded. Sarah leaned in, lowering her voice. She said you'll come crawling back, that you're just being dramatic. I smiled slightly. Then she doesn't know me at all. And that terrified Sarah just enough to spread the message. Haley had lost control. The next week, Haley showed up at Mark's place. No warning, just a desperate knock and red eyes. I opened the door only halfway, leaning my weight against it. She tried to push in. Eric, please, can we talk? We are talking, I said. Her voice cracked. Don't be heartless. You wanted a man who fights, I replied calmly. I'm fighting for myself now. She hated that answer, because it wasn't the script she wrote, because the drama she used to feed on was dying. She started pacing. I need to feel like I matter to you. I need to know you want me. I did want you, I said. You just needed me to prove it every single day. She looked confused, like the truth physically hurt. I only wanted passion. No, I corrected. You wanted power. She stepped closer. Eric, aren't you scared of losing me? I met her eyes with zero fear. I already let you go. That sentence hit like a brick. Her voice shrank to a whisper. But you love me. I didn't deny it. Sometimes silence is the loudest truth. She flinched like the ground beneath her shifted, because she finally realized love wasn't the question, self-respect was the answer. That night, I went out with coworkers, a new group who didn't know me as Haley's husband. At the bar, I felt something I hadn't in years noticed. A woman named Jenna asked if I was single. I hesitated, long enough to feel my heart move forward. Yeah, I said quietly. I am. She smiled in a way that made the room brighter. We talked for hours. Music, travel, stupid childhood memories. No games. No tests. Just connection that I didn't check my phone once. When I got back to Mark's place, I saw 14 missed calls from Haley. 3 voice messages, each more panicked than the last. I saw your picture. Who is she? I don't like this side of you. Please call me back. I can't sleep. Drama no longer fueled her. Silence did. The next morning, Haley was sitting outside my workplace, sunglasses hiding tears. She jumped up when she saw me. You're different. You wake up happy. You look confident. You're not supposed to be okay. I smirked. You wanted change. I wanted you to fight. She snapped that I stepped closer, steady, unshaken. If I have to fight, it means you're already trying to leave. She covered her mouth, realizing she pushed too far. The girl who once fed off power now looked powerless. The woman who demanded a warrior now looked like she needed saving. But the man she expected to save her wasn't hers to command anymore. Haley used to walk into rooms with the confidence of someone who believed people would bend for her. Now she walked like the ground might break beneath her next step. She kept trying to pull me back into the old dynamic, where she controlled the tempo, the chaos, the rules. But the script had changed, and she didn't get to write the lines anymore. She started showing up everywhere. I was at the cafe near my office, accidentally. At the gym, claiming she signed up months ago. At the grocery store, staring at what I put into my cart, silently mourning the routines she once called boring. Every time, she had a new tactic: flirting, crying, acting furious, acting helpless. She didn't understand that the opposite of love isn't hate. It's indifference. I'd say hello politely, maybe ask how she's doing, and then excuse myself. Nothing more. Nothing she could twist into a battle. One night, I invited coworkers, including Jenna, to a casual rooftop lounge downtown. Warm city air, soft lights, a live acoustic band playing covers of songs everyone secretly loves. When we arrived, Jenna slipped her hand into mine. Not claiming me, just connecting. It felt simple, real. Then came the scene. Haley appeared with a friend. The same friend who liked to whisper poison into her ear about real men. I saw them before they saw us. her head thrown back in fake laughter, a performance she couldn't maintain when her eyes finally found mine. She froze. Then she saw my hand in Jenna's. She walked over, anger and desperation already battling behind her eyes. "Oh," she said sharply. "So this is why you've been ignoring me." I didn't release Jenna's hand. "Haley, you don't get to ask about my life anymore." She scoffed, trying to keep her smile, but losing grip on it fast. "Is this your big transformation? Holding hands like a teenager?" Jenna, composed and fierce in that gentle way some people have, replied. "Sometimes the smallest gestures reveal the biggest truths." Haley turned back to me, voice trembling with fury. "Are you really doing this to punish me?" "No," I said calmly. "I'm just finally living a life you don't control." Her lips parted, not for a comeback, but because she didn't have one. I walked away with Jenna, leaving Haley standing in the middle of the crowd like the lead in a movie who forgot her lines. The next day, Haley called Mark. He told me she begged him. "Just tell me he's okay." "He is," Mark responded. "Better than ever." Those words rattled her foundation. For years, her value came from being the one someone was afraid to lose. Now she was the one terrified of being left behind. Soon the narrative flipped that I wasn't the boring husband who didn't fight. I was the man who got up and became better. I upgraded everything. A new position at work, higher pay, more respect. A personal trainer. Muscle where stress once lived. A sharper wardrobe. No more blending in. Every transformation was another reminder that I had been choosing smallness to make her feel big. One evening, I returned to Mark's place after a late shift. Haley was sitting on the porch steps, hugging her knees like a child who realized the world isn't fair just because she wants it to be. She stood as soon as she saw me. "Eric, please. I'm scared. I don't know who I am without you." I leaned against my car, arms crossed. Not cold, just grounded. "You spent years testing me," I said quietly. "You wanted jealousy, pain, proof." She nodded rapidly. "Because I needed to feel important." "You were," I replied. "But you confused being loved with being worshipped." Her voice cracked. "I thought if you weren't fighting for me, you didn't want me. And I thought if I gave you stability, you'd feel safe." I answered. "We were both wrong." She stepped closer, voice pleading. "Can't we just go back?" "No," I said. Not a single word, sharp. "Final." Her eyes glassed over. "Why?" "Because there is no back. Only forward." She shook her head. "I want to be yours again." I met her eyes, calm, unwavering. "You never wanted to be mine," I said. "You wanted me to struggle for the privilege of being near you." Her tears fell then. Not dramatic tears, but the quiet kind that come when someone sees the truth in a mirror for the first time. I walked to the door. She didn't try to stop me. Not physically. For the first time, she understood she couldn't. "Eric," she whispered. "Are you gone for good?" I paused, gripping the handle. "No theatrics, no triumph. Just reality. I'm gone for better." I heard her sob as the door clicked shut, and that sound wasn't victory. It was closure. Haley always wanted a battle. She believed love only mattered if someone bled for it. She wanted me to panic, to chase her down, to throw fists at every shadow that looked her way. She wanted to feel like the prize at the end of a war. And for a long time, I played along without even realizing it. I tried to prove every day that she was worth everything I had. But when I finally stopped trying, that was when she understood the truth she never wanted to face. No one else was ever going to fight for her like I did. And I wasn't willing to anymore. Weeks passed, and my life kept getting better. I got promoted again. My boss said he saw leadership potential in me that wasn't there before. Maybe it was always there, just buried under the weight of someone else's demands. I started spending time with Jenna more often. Not a relationship, just easy company with someone who didn't need me to suffer to feel loved. We laughed. We made plans. We existed without fear. It felt like fresh air after years of holding my breath. Meanwhile, Haley's carefully crafted image of the girl everyone wanted was falling apart. The bars weren't exciting anymore. The attention she got wasn't flattering, just cheap. The guys she flirted with didn't see a future, they saw a night. The friends she bragged to about testing her man slowly stopped answering her messages. When the party ended and the makeup came off, she had no one left in the room with her. She started showing up everywhere again. But now she didn't pretend it was coincidence. She stood outside my office during my lunch break one afternoon, waiting anxiously with shaking hands and mascara smudged from tears she didn't bother to hide. When I walked out, her breath caught like she'd seen a ghost. "Eric, please talk to me." Her voice was quiet, terrified of the answer. I looked at her for a long moment. "Talking was never the problem," I said. "You just never listened." She reached toward me like she used to, expecting my body to move before my mind could think. I stepped back. She froze, hands suspended in the air like even gravity refused to acknowledge it. "Please," she whispered. "I need you to care." "I did," I replied. "You mistook my loyalty for weakness." Her face twisted, the realization cutting deeper than anything I could have yelled. She had spent years building her self-worth out of the idea that someone was desperately afraid to lose her. And now she was the one afraid. "Eric, I want to come home," she said, voice shaking. "I want us back." I shook my head. "You don't want us. You want the feeling of being chased." "That's not true," she insisted, tears slipping down. I didn't know what I had. I didn't know what real love looked like. "That's the saddest part," I answered. "Because real love was right in front of you the whole time." She gasped on a sob. "Can't you just give me one more chance?" "I gave you too many already." Haley wiped her cheeks with angry, desperate motions. "So that's it. You're just walking away." I didn't raise my voice. I didn't defend myself. I didn't explain a single thing that wasn't owed. "There's nothing to walk away from," I said softly. "You ended us the moment you made love a competition." She shook her head violently. "No, I was stupid. I thought if you weren't jealous, you didn't love me. I didn't want to lose you. I wanted to feel like you'd never let me go." I felt a deep sadness, but no guilt. "A relationship isn't a hostage situation," I said. "It's two people choosing each other. You stopped choosing me the moment you demanded I fight for something that should have already been ours." She stared at me like the world had finally told her she wasn't the center of it. Her voice barely made a sound. "Do you still love me?" I didn't hesitate. Enough to finally put myself first. That was the moment her knees buckled. She leaned back against the concrete wall, sobbing like a child who realized the toy she broke can't be fixed with apologies. And for the first time in years, I didn't feel responsible for holding her up. She wanted drama. She got silence. And that silence crushed her louder than any fight ever could. She came to me for war, but I wasn't her soldier anymore. I turned and walked away, not because I hated her, but because I finally learned that love without respect is self-destruction. And I was finished destroying myself just to prove I cared. She pushed me to the cliff's edge and demanded I fight to stay. Instead, I learned how to fly. She can fight all she wants now, but I am not the prize in that war anymore. If you want more real, powerful stories like this, don't forget to hit subscribe, leave a like, and tell me your thoughts in the comments. Your support means everything to me.